Hi, I'm Lukey, career coach from Focus Inspired. In today's video, we'll be sharing a quick start process in 7 steps to get you started on your job search. The steps in your job search are 1. Get in the right mindset. 2. Do a little bit of an overview on the job search. 3. Find a starter job description. 4. Update your resume. 5. Update your LinkedIn. 6. Start networking. And 7. Start interviewing practice. And then go into your daily activities and add an activity on a weekly basis as well. So let's get started. Get into the right mindset. What you want to make sure that you understand is you can do it. You can land a job. There's a quote that's often cited by Henry Ford where he says, "He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't is probably right." And if you want to insert your pronoun there, then having that belief that you can actually do it is where it all starts. And if you can't do it now, then understand that you'll be able to learn it and do it later. So make sure that you understand that it's a process. It's you progressing and growing for you to be able to start with a fairly terrible resume and end up with an awesome resume. Have a pretty lackluster interview performance and become an amazing interviewee. And also not be very good at networking and then now become great at building meaningful connections. And I want you to also adopt a resilient mindset to be able to manage your job search process. So understand that the job search is either math or drama. Math is submitting resumes, practicing interview questions, building meaningful connections, maybe reflecting and learning as well. And if you continue to do your math, then you'll eventually land a job. Now, everything else is drama. So any of that imposter syndrome that you're experiencing, or I don't know how to do this, or why isn't that person reaching out, or how come they're not giving me an interview? That's all drama. Focus on the math and you'll eventually land a job. And a couple of quotes that I found helpful in managing your mindset in the job search process is one, surprisingly, from Shakespeare. "For there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so." So for whatever situation you're in, think of it. Is it good or bad? It's actually neither. It's up to you to choose the perspective to think it so. Instead of focusing on the drama again, go back into your math. Another quote is from Wayne Gretzky. "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." And that often applies doubly for networking. Reach out to that senior manager, that director, the CEO of the company that you might want to join. Right now, you're already not having a conversation, a coffee chat, or anything with them. But if you do ask, the worst that can happen is the answer is no, which is the status quo. And the best thing that can happen is that you actually have the coffee chat, you actually have the appointment and the connection with that person. So make sure you take that shot. Another one that's super helpful is never lose, win, or learn. And I found that attributed to Nelson Mandela, and I actually found another citation from Tupac, depending on which one that you prefer. But think of anything that you have as something that you've accomplished, and even if it didn't turn out as you expected, so whatever that you're doing, whether it's submitting resumes and not landing an interview, don't treat it as a loss, treat it as a learning event. If you asked for a referral and didn't get it, don't treat it as a loss, treat it as a learning moment. And the last quote to help with a resilient mindset in your job search is to understand it's about progress, not perfection. So you're often not going to have a great LinkedIn profile until you progress, and it becomes better and better and better. You're going to not have a great interview performance until it gets better, better, and better. Same with networking, same with your resume, same with your cover letter. All aspects of the job search, it's about progress, not perfection. So step 2 is having an understanding of the job search. So we talked about mindset and motivation, but if you think about it, the process of landing a job is you need an offer, and in order to get an offer, you need an interview. In order to get interviews, you either apply or network, and then all of that encompasses your experience. So if you look at that process, if you're not getting offers, you need to improve your interviews. If you're not getting interviews, you either need to apply more or network. And sometimes networking also involves tweaking your LinkedIn. And if none of those are helpful, then oftentimes that means you have to bolster your experience with something in order for you to articulate yourself better in an interview or an offer. So keep that process in mind as you go through the job search. Step 3 is getting a starter job description. So it's going to your job search website, so something like a LinkedIn Jobs or an Indeed, searching for the title of the job that you want and finding a realistic company that you can join, right? Subscribing to the job alerts in there and really making sure that you have an understanding of the type of role that you want. And this, in reality, should probably take only 10 or 20 minutes. If it takes you longer than that, then there's probably a challenge in terms of like, well, I don't know what I want. And if that's the case, message and reach out and we'll be able to help you with that. Step 4 is updating your resume. So what you'll want to do is learn to create a resume step by step. Now we have another video for that, and essentially that starts with starting with a template, reverse engineering the job posting, and creating one that will land you an interview. And then what you want to do is do a self-assessment on that resume. And I have a high-level rubric where you can give 5 out of 10 points for the presentation and 5 out of 10 points for the content. So presentation could be things like spelling or grammar mistakes, things like inconsistent bullets or date formats, things like dates that don't have months, or anything that makes it less visually appealing. So with any of those things, you can -1 for any points that it doesn't have, and then we go into content. So if a lot of the information is easy to find on the job description, then it gets full marks. And if they're more difficult to find, you get a 3 out of 5, a 1 out of 5, and add that up for a total rating out of 10. And ideally, you want a resume that's at least an 8, if not a 9 out of 10, for you to land an interview. So step 5, now that you've updated your resume, then do an update on your LinkedIn. A very important platform that is used by job seekers, especially in North America. If you're outside of that location, then you might not need the emphasis, but taking time to update your LinkedIn can be super helpful. For updates to LinkedIn, we have a separate video that will give you some tips on how to update your profile. And then you want to give it a self-assessment. So what you can do is take a look at, does it have a professional looking picture, right? Does it have a relevant background image on it? Does it have an appropriate tagline or a good about statement there? Does it have compelling or relevant information in the experience section? And is there some activity or engagement on your profile? And if you're missing any of those components, -1, -2 for each one of them, and that should be your mark. And again, ideally you want at least an 8, if not a 9 out of 10 on your profile. And that activity will probably start you at about 15 minutes, right? And your LinkedIn can be progress, not perfection. So 15 minutes at a time, make an update. Update a picture, then 15 minutes tomorrow, update something else. Then tomorrow, update something else. And next day, update something else. So go with progress, not perfection. Now, step 6 is to work on your networking in general. So we have a couple of videos here, again, to help you with your networking foundations and fundamentals and how you actually go about networking. And you can leverage the LinkedIn profile that you've created to reach out to people on LinkedIn. You can also attend networking events and do a network audit to understand that you are probably richer than you think when it comes to your network. There are also some useful tools and apps that you can use in order to help you with your networking process. And again, to get started, it probably only takes you about 15 minutes to start searching for people, connecting with someone, or searching for meetups and networking events and registering and planning to attend. And remember, progress, not perfection. Now, step 7 is to practice with your interviews. Again, we have a couple of other videos that will help you improve your interviewing techniques, but what you want to start off with is your tell me about yourself question. So practice recording on your smartphone or maybe on a platform like Udemy in order to help you provide some feedback. And again, we have a bit of a rubric for you to do a bit of a self-assessment. So you want to give yourself 5 marks out of 10 for delivery and 5 marks out of 10 for content. So delivery could be something like eye contact or lack of enthusiasm or using too many filler words or being unclear or speaking too fast, too slow, having an abrupt ending or having distracting body language or inappropriate attire. Any of those could minus marks from your performance. And then we go into your content. Did you actually answer the question? Did you make your answer relevant to the company and the role? And does it make me want to hire you based on what you just said? And add the marks for delivery, add the marks for content, and you have a mark out of 10. And ideally, again, you want to get yourself to an 8, if not 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10 if you can manage. Again, we're looking at progress, not perfection. So get one recorded, give yourself an assessment, and then continue on with the process. So now that you've started with the 7 steps, what you want to do is keep up with kind of daily math. So for every hour you have allocated in your job search, you want to spend about 10 to 15 minutes practicing interview questions, spending time to review what you recorded the day before, and then re-recording new information with one area of improvement. Then 10 to 15 minutes, networking with new connections, new people of interest, and also time reconnecting with previous ones. And then spending the rest of the time doing applications, resumes, and cover letters, and making sure that you end the last 5 minutes reflecting and improving. Be sure to add breaks if you're working for multiple hours, and on a weekly basis, take some time to update job alerts and do some tweaks to your LinkedIn based on the feedback and reflection that you've been doing previously. And then spend 5 minutes reflecting and improving on your overall job search approach as a whole. And that's it. In 7 easy steps, you've started your job search. 1, get in the right mindset. 2, have an understanding of the overview of the job search. 3, get a starter job description. 4, update your resume. 5, update your LinkedIn. 6, start networking. 7, start your interview practice. And then get into your daily math. So this video was brought to you by the Focus Inspired Academy. If you're looking for support in your job search or career, join us for e-learning content, weekly virtual group coaching, text access to your coaches in between sessions, and future apps and a community to help you in your job search and career success. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found this useful, hit the like button. Let me know if you have any questions or what you're struggling with in your job search or career, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on jobs, careers, and life. And YouTube recommends that you check out these videos next.